What is going on, everybody? Welcome back on the More Than Philly Sports Network. It's great to be here with all of you today. As always, you're alongside by my co-host Gavin Tony. For those of you listening to it, today is Friday, the 26th of February here in 2021. Yes, we got some nice hats on. I'm in a different location today. I got my door open. Look, it's warm outside. I'm enjoying it. I'm tired of the cold. I hate it. I don't know why I live in Philadelphia. I don't know why I'm a Philly sports fan. That's a different conversation, of course. But in all seriousness, we do have a serious topic, of course, that we're going to be going over today. Tiger Woods seriously injured on Tuesday in a single car accident. But before we get to that, Gavin, it's good to see you. Happy Friday to you. We're excited for the weekend. It's so warm outside. It's just great right now. Of course, we're rocking the hats just because why not? It's something fun to do. We are going hat shopping. I'm not sure when, but we are going to hit up the hat stores and see if we can get ourselves some nice hats.
I'm doing great, Zach. Listen, when you heard the news on Wednesday and it took us a little while to finally come to with the words of what we want to say. I know it's Friday. Hope everybody's having a great Friday. Zach, I hope you're having a great Friday. And before we get into it, I just want to say that background. I love it. I love the new background. Something new. Ladies and gentlemen.
Something new. It's not a white backdrop, palm tree here, flyer sweatshirt, brother's desk there, of course. Not as professional as usual, but something different for today. Mix it up. Nice weather.
Why not? Multicolored background, sir.
I'm all for it, man. First time, different background. But no, in all seriousness, getting to the main topic of today, Tiger Woods seriously injured in a single car accident. No drugs or alcohol proved to be involved in that. Of course, unfortunately, Tiger has had quite the history in the past with a couple unfortunate events unraveling. This just seemed like an unfortunate accident. Of course, he was reportedly on his way to work on a promo with Justin Herbert and Drew Brees for teaching them some golf lessons. He was with Dwayne Wade the day before playing golf, or at least helping out because he's recovering from back surgery. So on the personal side, it's devastating. It's heartbreaking. A lot of the players had spoke about that before the tournament started yesterday. Justin Thomas, a few others mentioned how it sucks for his family. And look, fortunately, Tiger Woods is alive today. He's in the hospital post operation. It could have been a lot worse. He could have lost his life, and so I'm sure with him and everybody in the golf community, anybody out there, is counting their blessings today. And it's not just, you don't have to just understand golf to know how significant of a figure Tiger Woods has been. From 1997 to now, even before that, he's been under the public spotlight. And when you're in the public spotlight for as long as Tiger Woods has been, you're going to see flaws. We know that. He had his rough patch. He took time off from the game, had some issues in his marriage. We know how that all fanned out. But again, thank goodness that he's alive. The last public appearance that we had saw him at, he was actually this weekend at the Genesis Invitational in Los Angeles, speaking to Jim Nantz in the booth, saying he was unsure if he'd return for the Masters. Now, at this point, it seems like that's obviously way out of the picture, not even something to be thought about right now. But before that, he was with his son. We were watching one of the greatest, if not the greatest golfer of all time, second in major wins, 18, I believe. Most PGA Tour wins as well. I mean, this is a man who's made quite the legacy, and we're now getting to watch him be a father and be with his son at the tournament that they played. And they didn't win, but it was just great to watch. And it's heartbreaking today. You think about Charlie, you think about his family, you think about everyone affected by this, and just to know he's going to be okay from what we see. Of course, playing golf is not a question right now. It's about whether or not he's going to be okay and he's going to recover. And yeah, I mean, I've only picked up golf in the last year. We've spoken about it a lot on the show in detail. But with that being said, you don't have to be into golf. Like, people literally text me who don't play golf. Joey, have you heard about Tiger Woods? He touched everybody, similar to with the Kobe Bryant news. It was a similar feeling, unfortunately, of course, not in the same tragic way. People they know Tiger Woods. They know who he is as a person. Everybody knows his story. Everybody knows his flaws, and we accept him for who he is. And that's the message that will be sent out no matter what happens. What it does seem like he does have an abundance of broken bones in his legs. So I imagine some reconstruction surgery. Again, the logistical part of playing golf is not something that matters right now. I mean, we all would love to see him return to the Masters this year. Especially after that 10 he had last year on one of those par threes. It was recent. Tiger's still playing. He's recovering from back surgery, and unfortunately, this happens. And this is part of life. There are tragedies. There are things that are going to set you back. But they say setback for a big comeback. I'm not sure if we're going to see Tiger in a PGA Tour event again. And if we do, it won't be this year. It most likely won't be next year, unless it's like later in next year. But at this point, I'm just glad he's going to be okay from what we hear. For his family, I can't imagine the feeling they're going through. Of course, yes, yesterday, 2/24 has become Kobe Bryant Day unofficially. And so that is well heartbreaking, revisiting some of those feelings. It's a terrible feeling. And for us in the news and in the media industry, sitting here and talking about this stuff, it's not fun. But we got to sit here and hold back the emotions. We got to sit here and hold back. Like when we talked about Kobe Bryant that one day, I know Gavin, you had some technical difficulties, but we were able to get you on the phone. It's not easy. There's nothing easy about doing that and reporting on this and just thinking about it from the humane standpoint, from the standpoint as a human being, and watching Tiger's comeback, watching the video of him from, the affair that he had and his wife and him having, that going up in smoke in front of the public eye, and his comeback and winning the Masters in 2019. It's a full 180 for Tiger Woods, and we're happy to see it. And now on top of all of that, he now has to go through another piece of adversity, which we don't know. I'm not going to sit here and say it could have been avoided. It's a little different than some of the other previous experiences he's had. But we're just wishing nothing but the best for Tiger Woods at this point. He's been a legacy his entire life in the golf world and for anybody out there.
Zach, you talk about legacy. I mean, this man has over 82 tour wins and 15 major championships. Zach, earnings over $120 million. It feels like this guy has always been, always on top. In my opinion, Zach, the reason why I give golf a chance, Zach, you know who my favorite golfer is, and when we're out there in mini golf, whenever I hit my long putt, the Tiger fist pump. That's the go-to move that everybody does or goes with. Zach, when I heard the news yesterday or on A24 day, it gave you the emotion, the feeling of what we went through a year ago with losing Kobe Bryant. It felt like the same exact thing.
It gave you that pit in your stomach that you didn't know what was going on.
It gave you are you serious? We can't. Not today. No more. That's the feeling I had. Zach, I mean, we all know how much Kobe Bryant meant to me, especially on the personal side with motivation and stuff. And Tiger Woods, Zach, I'm not really the best when it comes to golfing. I do have a more than Philly Sports mini golf win under my belt.
You do have one. We are tied right now in the unofficial FedEx Cup standings.
But all jokes aside, listen, without Tiger Woods, I don't think I would care much about golf. I mean, going to my grandpa, he loves Tiger Woods. He told me when I used to stay at my grandmother's house during the day is when Tiger Woods is on, everybody watches Tiger Woods. He was must-see TV even when he wasn't winning that much, but it was must-see TV. It's like you go back to 1997 with the infamous hole-in-one, and then he wins and hugs his dad. Then to fast forward a couple years later to where he hugs his son Charlie, and we just saw Charlie at.
This is history. We're in history right now. We just saw this a few months ago.
We just saw history a few months ago, and we talked about how great Charlie was and how he's going to be, and we had a mini coming to Tiger Woods. But it's like the first thing that popped in my mind was not golf. It was, we can't lose another living legend today. And that was the first thing that walked in my mind. Zach, Tiger Woods had a lot of flaws, as you named him, but we accept Tiger Woods who he is. People, the golf community still loves Tiger Woods regardless of how or what's going on in his life. And for me personally, like I said, Zach, Tiger Woods is my favorite golfer of all time. I mimic Tiger Woods, and I try my best. I know I'm not going to win 82 championships and 15 majors, but I'll try. I'll try in the mini golf world. But when you heard the news, it was a punch to the face. It really was. We knew what day it was, and we wanted to come on here and on Thursday and make the recording, but we couldn't because Zach, when you're talking about Tiger Woods and you're talking about the 3D action, because Zach, if you look at the picture, I don't know if you saw it in the pictures underneath the crash, it did not look good. It really did not look good. It really gave the only thing that was different and going back to what happened a year ago is it wasn't on fire. That was the only difference. But the jaws of life were used to get Tiger Woods out the car and rush to immediate orthopedic surgery where they had to do reconstruction in the foot or the ankle. And Zach, and this is where you can explain, but pins and rods and stuff to fix the below your knee, your ankle to be exact, that doesn't feel good. And if Tiger Woods were to return to golf, what will we get out of him? Will we get the same Tiger Woods where Tiger Woods even want to come back to golf? But Zach, if there is a man that could face adversity again and then come back, and I would hope win, it would be Tiger Woods. I mean, it's like I feel like that's what's been his career the past 10 years. It felt like.
He went 8 or 9 years without any PGA win. Comes out in 2019, trailing Francesco Molinaro I pronounced that right. I apologize if I didn't. Moliniero, I believe.
So
And he came back and had a pretty comfortable lead going into the 18th hole. Was able to putt out, and like you said, you see him hug Charlie. It's something that it's surreal is the word to say. And throughout as we get older, as anyone who watches this will know, as you go on in life, you're going to experience surreal times, whether it's a positive thing that goes your way, whether it's something that doesn't go your way, or more importantly, like in this circumstance, where it's out of your control, where you might not personally know somebody. And Gavin, we both we had this similar feeling of Kobe Bryant. I mean, it's of course a different circumstance, very different, but at the same time, it was a similar surreal feeling. We just watched Tiger on Sunday talking to Jim Nantz, and fortunately so, it didn't get as it become not was not a fatal crash, but if it was, it could have been a similar situation to when we saw Kobe Bryant. The very last tweet that he sent out was to LeBron James saying, "Way to continue moving the game forward," when he passed him in points, ironically, in Philadelphia in Kobe Bryant's home city. And next day, news breaks, and you're like, "Well, I just saw him tweeting last night." It's a surreal feeling, and at this point for Tiger Woods, all we can do take sports out of it. Number one, and number two, just pray for him, hope for the best, and honestly, I mean, will he make a return? I don't know, but I'm sure Charlie, that's still going to be a story to keep an eye on. Tiger's not going away anytime soon. I hope that Tiger can feel better. His son's a phenomenal trash talker. Justin Thomas, who's been through hell and back, for anyone who hasn't read up on Justin Thomas, just lost his grandfather tragically a few weeks ago. Of course, he had a certain situation where he had lost his connection with polo and a few other things that had happened since then. He's been through an awful lot as well. And so I think for all of us, sport is where we go to escape. And that's a reminder every single day. That's why we sit here and do this. We don't want to talk politics. We do talk real world issues. Don't get me wrong. We talk real world issues and we keep the conversation going. But at the end of the day, we know why people watch us. We know why we watch sports. And during the pandemic in the last year, we didn't have it. And you know, I've been enjoying sports like crazy right now. And to go to a game again is going to feel great. And yes, the end is near when it comes to that side. But tracing it back to Tiger Woods, tracing it back to how sports helps you escape. Sometimes the real world bleeds in to sports. When someone famous dies who's involved in sports, the real world bleeds in. When the pandemic shuts down sports, the real world bleeds in. It's been a tough year, and we spoke about this on our New Year's show. And we had a fun time laughing at all the great moments that we've had on here in the last year. But at the same time, we also talked about the tragedies and what happens. And at the end of the day, adversity is going to hit. It's not about what you're given. It's about how you get up and how you respond. To Tiger Woods, go get him. We look forward to seeing the comeback story, whatever that is defined by him, Carter, and his court. But until then, all we're doing is wishing for the best for him and his family.
Wish him nothing but the best, Zach. And you said it well. And we talk about the real world. The reason why these guys get paid more than the average is because they deal with they are the outlook. They are the getaway. They are the escape. Zach, whatever word you want to use for them, that's what they are. When everything was going on, what was the first thing we looked at in the summertime? When everything was going on, we looked forward to the National Basketball, so the NBA to come back. We didn't look forward to, well, I mean, we're Phillies fans, so I don't think we really look forward for the Phillies to come back, but
we do. At the end of the day, there's nothing better than a nice warm day with watching the Phillies.
Which that is returning soon. Hopefully we can get in there. Zach, opening day. Maybe we'll have to figure something out. But
they will be. It does look like that they will be having fans. The Sixers and the Flyers also will fans. We'll cover that on another special show. But the Philadelphia city is having a meeting to ease restrictions, which will allow 5,000 fans, I think, in the stadium for the Wells Fargo Center. The Phillies, I imagine, will be a little more given that it's outside. But again, that doesn't start till April.
But tracing back to Tiger Woods, Zach, it was one of those things where you just didn't want to hear the news. We talked about how bad 2020 was. We talked about how whether you're in the music industry where you lose Juice WRLD, where you lose Pop Smoke, then you go to the actor, you know, Hollywood, the actors, and you lost so many, you know, stars over there. And then you go in the sports world where baseball, it felt like the dying of legends and all of baseball. And you go to Henry Aaron and the start of 2021 and to hear if Tiger Woods could have been part of that list. I'm going to be honest. When Kobe Bryant passed away, I didn't pick up a basketball for 2 months, 2.5 months. One because not because it was cold and the course was shut down. It was also one of those things you just couldn't do it. It didn't feel right. But Zach, I'll admit, if Tiger was would have passed away, yesterday on A24 day, I wouldn't have picked up another golf club. He brought me into this, him and my grandpa, with him telling me to watch Tiger Woods and me getting invested into Tiger Woods and rooting for Tiger Woods. I don't think I would ever pick up another golf club again. That's how much people our sports athletes have impacts on people. You never know until when they're gone or when they stop playing. Zach, I know when LeBron James stops playing basketball, I don't think you'll watch basketball as heavily as you do now anymore. But all jokes aside, ladies and gentlemen, I think the life lesson is, and Zach, we learned this a lot over the last year. You don't know. And the unthinkable, stuff that you can't prevent, could happen. And some that that you can't control might happen. Zach, whether it's a really bad car accident or getting hit walking down the street, you can't control that. It's just out there. But when it comes to Tiger Woods' sake, I would like to see you back on the golf course, but I'm not worried about that right now because Zach, the road recovery's not there. He has to fight off infections, then the physical aspect of it with the rehab, and then you have to get back into golf shape. Zach, and the one question no one's asking Zach, and I want to ask you this: what's his back state now? That's what we remember. He was just a couple. What was it?
He was recovering from surgery, but I'm not sure if it was impacted in the car accident. Obviously, now the concerns of the lower body, but not in that, Gavin. You hit it right over the head, hoping for the best for him. Time will tell again, as always. We hope to hear more updates. I'm sure he'll address at some point when he feels the time is right, but I would not expect seeing him make a return this year if he does ever return to the PGA.
And correct me if I'm wrong, Zach. Was it the Thomases and the Woods when they were doing the doubles?
It was, yes. And Charlie was giving quite the trash talk. He left a note in the bunker for Justin Thomas saying to concede. It was great. It was funny. We hope to have more moments like that. But of course, until then, Tiger Woods wishing nothing but the best in his recovery as we continue to cover this story.
We wish you nothing but the best, Tiger Woods, and the fist bump, the iconic fist bump. We hope to see it back soon. But as of right now, we're not worried about that. We're worried about your health, your safety, your family. We're keeping you in your prayers. And yeah, Zach, what a A24 day. Am I right? I mean, already given a day of what it was to find out that this happened in the same city, ironically in the same city. Just hate to hear that.
Yeah, no, for sure. City of Angels, of course, out there. But with that being said, everybody, thank you so much for watching today. We appreciate it. With that being said, everyone, enjoy the warm weather and have a great weekend.
Have a great one, everybody. Have a great weekend, Zach.
You too, Gavin. See you, everybody.
See you.
If you enjoyed today's video, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't. In addition, hit that bell icon and set it to all to get reminded of when we go live and when we post excerpts of our videos. Again, thanks for watching.